What are we doing here, hon?
So today, this video is about two things. I have two stories. It was just going to be one story, but then a miracle happened, and so now it's two stories. And the first story is about something that kind of annoys me, but has to be done. And the second story is related to the idea that when someone dies, you're often left with these little mementos, and how do you keep those mementos? So first story is about something that kind of annoys me, which is hardening off seedlings. Now, it's true that Jason and I have started this great new garden and we grow all these vegetables, and that we never had done that before, but I've always had flowers in my garden. So we've had a flower garden here for quite some time. But I had real strict rules about what flowers go in that garden. They had to be perennial, they had to bloom for a long time, and they had to be zero maintenance once they got stuck in the ground. Like, none of this, oh, I need to be pulled up every year and put in a little bag and some sand. No. You go in the ground and you live. And if you die, I never liked you anyway, so I'm going to find something better. That was my gardening philosophy. And if you watched any of our videos from last year when we were starting seeds, you'll see that I carried that over into seed starting, because I started our seeds on the porch, no lights, no protection, not even a little plastic dome on top of them. Either they came up or they didn't, and I didn't care either way because I was not going to any more effort than that. But as you know, we're now much more serious. Jason has purchased the beautiful grow lights, and we have trays, and everything is lovely. And so and you do get better flowers and plants and all that good stuff if you're starting from seed. So I'd mentally prepared myself for the fact that we were going to grow peppers and tomatoes, and you got to harden them off. They cannot go outside without a hardening off process. But after we had planted, and this is just one representation of this is about 1/6 of what we've done so far. I thought to myself, well, wait, do I have to harden off all of these plants? And in fact, you do have to harden off plants that you've grown inside. Now, I selected these plants because they're supposed to be much more cold tolerant. They're flowers that you can kind of get going outside, but they have lived inside. So they still have to go through a hardening off process. So this is what we've been doing. I follow these steps from a website I found called gardenbetty.com. And her article is called A Simple Way to Harden Off Seedlings in 7 Days or Less, which seems like kind of an eternity to me. But she does say there are ways you can fast forward. So I'll give you the fast forwards first. First of all, of course, you are always touching your seedlings when they're growing. We have a fan that goes in there, but just gently rubbing them kind of helps them harden off. She also says that if you're desperate, you could transplant outside directly, but only if you're going to have about 2 weeks of clouds. And I don't know how you decide that that's going to happen. Or when you plant them out, you can protect them. So giving them some sort of cover. If you have tomatoes, you can do one of those tomato water ring things. She recommended that. Now, the reason you have to harden off is because all plants need this what they call a cuticle, which is a protective coating on the outside. And without this hardening off process, if you're growing them inside, they don't have that protection, and that's why they die. So what we've been doing on day 1, you put them outside in the sun in the afternoon, 2 to 3 hours, dappled shade like a tree. I don't have that. So I just threw them out there for a couple hours and then brought them back in. On day 2, you do full sun for 3 hours, but no breeze. On day 3, you've got full sun for 4 hours with a breeze. On day 5, it's all day in the full sun. On day 6, it's all day and all night. And then on day 7, you transplant. Now, I have run into a problem this week where on days 2, 3, and 4, there was no sun to be had. So I just threw them out there all day, and I hope that that's going to do it. Again, these aren't super tender, so I feel like they should be okay. So like I said, we've been doing this for the plants that we have. So far, it's been fairly successful. I mean, nothing's died, but we haven't planted anything out either. That's the process we're going through, and I would love to hear some suggestions. If anybody has any other suggestions about easier ways to harden off seeds or anything that, or what your process is for hardening off seeds, I think there's some people who don't, so I'd be interested to know how that works. That would be great. Story number 2 is kind of the miracle story. So very quickly, Jason's sister Deb got sick about 4 years ago. This time period. And when she did, one of the things that she had us do was make garden beds. We made 3 little tiny garden beds and put them in the backyard. She wanted to be able to grow garlic. But she passed away that November. Now she had bought a couple things before she got really sick, and one of the things that she and I got I'm sure we were together, although my memory's a little fuzzy. She got this packet of pepper seeds. They're called lemon pepper seeds. I think it's the Hudson company. They're the ones with the really fancy, hand painted pictures on the front. You know what I'm talking about. I threw it away because I was mad. Now, last year when we started seeds, I obviously didn't have the capacity to grow seeds, pepper seed in the house. We didn't have lights. And so I felt like this year was really like the last year that those seeds might really be viable, and that I might be able to grow a lemon pepper plant. It's what she had wanted to grow, and I just felt this odd connection that I really needed to grow this plant because she really wanted to have it. So you can see from these empty cups that we planted a whole bunch of lemon pepper seeds on January 9th. And we waited until, I think, the beginning of March. And they never came up. And I was so disappointed that we'd waited so long. So I was really disappointed because, you know, when someone passes away, you get rid of their clothes and you get rid of their jewelry, and as time goes on, you just lose connections with someone who's passed away. You just have less, reminders of them. And this was one thing. I don't have very many things from Deb, but this was one thing that I had, and I thought, God, it would be so nice if I could do this. And I was so disappointed that these stupid seeds didn't come up. We put them on a heat mat. So I took this rest of the seeds out. There was about 10 more seeds left. I threw the packet away, and I was super mad. And then I watched Terry King's chitting videos for his seeds. And I was like, well, that might work. But I wasn't confident. So I took a Starbucks cup and I put a paper towel on the bottom, and I put the 10 seeds that were left on, and I put them on the paper towel, and I wrapped it in paper, and I put it on top of the light in the little grow space. And it worked. I couldn't believe it. We now have, I think, we have 5 lemon pepper plants. And if I can manage to keep them alive by hardening them off how I'm supposed to, then I will save the seeds from this, and we will always have lemon pepper plants. Just want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank Terry King for his idea of putting it on the hot water tank, because that really was something that twigged with Jason, and that's why we put it on the light, and it worked really well. I've got Deb's fingerprint necklace on, and that's her over there at our wedding.
3 awesome sisters and a mom.
I might be the worst person to do like a eulogy. Don't ever ask me.
Okay. I've already written mine.
Perfect. For yourself.
Yeah.
Good. Can I find it when you're
Oh
done?
yeah, it'll
Okay,
drop. It will drop. Don't you worry.
Okay. Yeah, you know, like, there's, in a lot of couples, there's, like, the fun one, and then there's kind of, like, the stick in the mud, you know, like, the creative one who does all these, you know, fun things, and then there's the other one who, like, oh, we gotta go to work, oh, we gotta pay our taxes. I don't know if you can guess who's who in this relationship, but this week I got our taxes done.
What are taxes?